Alright guys, so Yu-Gi-Oh just kind of copied Pokemon over here with this card. So if you guys have ever played Pokemon, you probably have heard of a card called EEvee, right? Basically they're getting its own archetype and it's called Purery. So anyways, I'm really here just for the effects, but everyone's saying it's an evolution, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. So starting right off, Purery over here is a level 1 light fairy effect monster, and it's going to be a brand new archetype. So it's 100 attack, 100 defense points, and it says if this card is normal or special summon, you can activate the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add 1 activated Purery spell/trap to your hand. Also place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Once per turn, you can reveal 1 Purery quick play spell in your hand. If you do, special summon 1 AzneyesWhitedragon monster that mentions it from your extra deck using this face-up card you control as material. This is treated as an AzneyesWhitedragon summon, and if you do, attach the revealed card to it as an additional material. Okay, pretty cool effect, but obviously we've got to see that they're boss monster. So let's check out the first one. This is Purery Happiness. So this is the light one. It's a rank 2 light fairy AzneyesWhitedragon effect monster. Attack is 2,100 defense. Its materials are 2 level 2 monsters. That's interesting because the first one over here is a level 1. Nonetheless, you can make it in other ways. If it battles, at the end of the damage step, you can add 1 Purery card from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card has Purery Happy Memory as material, you can make the attack of 1 face-up monster in the field become halved. And then the second effect is thrice per turn. Okay, when you activate a Purery quick play spell card quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this card as material. Then you can return 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls to the hand. Okay, so I mean, being able to if you activate one, getting a return spell and trap is like kind of mediocre effect at the end of the day, but you can do it 3 times. I mean, this effect at the end of the day, this almost makes it kind of like 4,000 attack, right? Because it halves it. So pretty good stuff indeed at the end of the day. If you want to think of it as like, what can you run over? As long as the thing has like 4,000 or under, you can actually crash into it or just attack over it. So next up, we have the water variant. Okay, so Vaporeon. I mean, Purery Beauty. Okay, rank 2 water fairy AzneyesWhitedragon effect monster, 1,600 attack, 1,100 defense points, 2 level 2 monsters. First effect is once per turn you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls. Its effects are negated until the end of the turn. This is a quick effect if this card has Purery Pretty Memory as material. Okay, so this is actually good. It doesn't negate and destroy, but it does negate. And then the third effect is thrice per turn. I'm just going to say 3 times per turn because it makes more sense. When you activate a Purery quick play spell card as a quick effect, you attach that card on the field to this card as material. Then you can change 1 opponent's monster's battle position. Okay, so it changes it so can maybe run over with the other cards. Next up, we have the Earth variant. So we have Purery Plump, which is a rank 2 Earth Fairy AzneyesWhitedragon effect monster, 200 attack, 2,100 defense points, and it's 2 level 2 monsters. And it says once per turn, you can target up to 2 spell and traps in the graveyard, attach them to this card as material. This is a quick effect if this card has Purery Delicious Memory as material. So you have to have the material to add to them as more material. Okay. Second effect is thrice per turn. When you activate a Purery quick play spell card as a quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this card as material. Then you can banish 1 monster on the field until the end phase. Okay, I mean, if it was permanent, would it even be that OP? I don't know. It seems like kind of a weak archetype so far, but don't sign them out yet. We got, I think this is their like boss monster too. This is the EX Purery Happiness, which is a rank 7 light fairy effect monster, 2,500 attack, 1,100 defense points, and it says requires 2 level 7 monsters. You can also see some of this card by using a rank 2 monster. You control 5 or more materials, transfer its materials to this card. First part of the effect is during your main phase, you can detach 1 material from this card, and if you do, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn. If this card has a level 1 Purery monster as material, when your opponent can't activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect activation. That's actually a really decent effect, being able to gain everything. So on top of that, the second part is when an attack is declared involving this card with 5 or more materials, inflict 1,500 damage to your opponent. Okay, that's a very strange. So it's like burn oriented now. Okay, so I mean, it's not even that effect is a once per turn. Okay, so you just detach material, but like 5 or more, obviously if you keep on using this effect, it's gonna not have it. I think that this could be really good. This is, okay, yeah, this is not a once per turn. I'm like quadruple checking. This makes it a lot more viable. Okay, detach and negate the effects of all face up till the end of the turn. It's got 25 attack. And if you have the other one to like move it to defense position, I mean, at that point, you'd probably invest all of your cards into just making this card. maybe. I mean, you still have to keep the level 1, so that one can't be detached. I think it's like okay. Like their boss monster is like definitely viable. Like at least it negates. If it negated and destroyed and you had 5 more, you can keep on doing that. Then it'd be like really good. More likely they're just going to other things. 25 is not the highest attack. But let's check out the rest of the support. So we have Stray Purery, Straight over here, and it's a field spell card that says your opponent cannot target Purery monsters you control with card effects at the turn they were special summoned. Second part is, once per turn if a face-up Purery exceeds monster you control leaves the field by your opponent, you get to special 1 level 1 Purery monster from your deck or graveyard, which at the moment I think we've only got 1, so maybe we'll get more for the archetype. The third effect is, during each end phase, you can target 1 Purery exceed monster in the field, attach 1 Purery quick play spell from your deck or graveyard to it as material. Okay, now we're looking at something really good. I wish the effect of this card was when it's activated immediately, you just like add 1, because a lot of like the newer updated Yu-Gi-Oh field spells are always activate search 1, right? Next up, because the continuous, the quick plays are going to be much better than the continuous, because that's kind of what the archetype's all about, right? Anyways, let's check out the continuous one. So Purery, My Friend, is a continuous spell card that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is pay 500 to reveal 3 Purery cards from your deck, except for Purery, My Friend. If you do, your opponent randomly picks 1, and then you shuffle the rest back into the deck. Okay, so you add 1, and then the second effect is, oh wait, it doesn't even say different. Reveal 3 Purery cards except for itself. Okay, so you can literally pick 3 the same one, right? Cool. Okay, that's pretty good. Second part of the effect is if a face-up Purery exceeds monster you control leaves the field by an opponent, even during the damage step, you can add up to 3 Purery quick play spell cards with different names from your graveyard. Okay, if this is from the deck, that'd be insane. But like, I mean, you're at least getting like 1. More likely you'll have another one to activate. If it was just up to, wait, it is technically up to, wait, yeah, that's actually much better, because it doesn't have to be 3. Okay, now we're looking at a lot better in terms of like competitiveness for this. Next up, we have Purery Happy Memory, which is a quick play spell card that says apply this effect to 1 card on the field until the end of the next turn. Then you can discard 1 card. And if you do special summon 1 level 1 Purery monster from your deck once applied, the next time that card will be destroyed by a card effect, it is not destroyed. Second part is a Purery exceeds monster that has this card as material gains this effect. This card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of Purery Happy Memory attached to it plus 1. Okay, so we're gonna attack, maybe do some OTK, but it's only on monsters, unless, I guess you can use the other effect where it reduces it to half, right? Maybe you can try to pull off some make it more stuff or something. Next up though, we have Purery Memory, quick play spell card that says each player gains 1,000 life points, then you can discard 1 card. If you do, special 1 Purery monster from your deck. The second part is a Purery Exceed monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Once per turn, you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, attach it to this card as material. Ooh, this is really good. Unfortunately, it's another card you control, so I guess you do like the continuous one or the field spell, but nonetheless, this effect is actually good. Just being able to just absorb stuff like, basically like relinquish and stuff, getting it as material is good. Next up, we have Purery Delicious Memory, which is a quick play spell card that says make 1 monster on the field unable to be destroyed by battle until the end of the next turn. Then you can discard 1 card if you do special 1 level 1 Purery monster from your deck. Second part is a Purery Exceeds monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Gains 300 attack and defense for each material attached to this card. Okay, maybe with the other one, the boss monster, you know, if you have 5 material, 1,500. Now we're looking at it being 4K, and it just keeps on negating. At least like 3K would be pretty solid, because I think what's gonna happen is people will just like run over. They'll like, it's like an Appaloosa. They make you negate a couple times and just run over it, and then in phase 2 go for the big plays, right? Unless you have the card where it's like it can protect itself, whatever. Next up though, we got trap support for him. Okay, normal trap card says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. First part says target 1 Purery Exceed monster you control, special 1 Purery Exceed monster with a different rank from your extract by using it as material, but return the summon monster to the extract during the end phase of the next turn. This is treated as a C-Zone, transfer its material to the summon monster. Okay, that could be actually pretty decent, because the boss monster, you need a lot of material, right? Second part is you can banish this card, target up to 3 Purery monsters to your graveyard, and shuffle them into the deck. If at least let you draw 1 card, maybe people would run it. I don't know if people would really go for this. Next up though, we have a reprint of Exige Tribal Rivals. Okay, I don't know what the card does off the top of my head, but since it's mentioned, I'm just gonna go ahead and check it out real quick. What is this card? Does it even have anything related to do with it? Or is it, let's see. So, face-up Exceed monsters on the field with 2 or more Exceed materials can't be destroyed by card effects. After damage calculation, if an Exceed monster you control battles an opponent's monster, destroy that opponent's monster. That Exceed monster must have 2 or more materials attached to it to activate and resolve this effect. More than like this, I don't think people are going to be running that if they're going to be taking this deck seriously. But let me know, guys, what you think of the new Purery. Are they good? Are they bad? I think they actually have a lot more potential because, I mean, special summoning like cards from the deck is always good, but they only literally have one Purery like base monster, and then everything else. Yeah, I think it has a lot more potential if we get extra, you know, just the main monster. Because right now, can you play a Purery variant? I think people are just going to start teching it into mixing it up with other things. But let me know, guys, your thoughts. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you guys want to see more new Pureries in the future, because there's no way there's only like one monster from the main deck, right? That wouldn't make any sense. But if you guys want to see more when they do announce it, and you're new here, subscribe, turn that bell, and drop a like on our way out. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, and I'm out. Peace.